Hi everyone and welcome to the Book Refuge. Thanks so much for joining me. So I'm going to be doing something that I have wanted to do probably for like the last 6 months, but I've been a little too chicken or a little too busy, and so it's time to do it though. I want to do a 24-hour readathon just with myself. I actually have like a full Saturday with nothing planned so far, and if I do have something planned, it'll like be in the evening. So I'm planning to read from as soon as I wake up in the morning tomorrow until I go to bed, and then a little bit in the morning Sunday before I go to church. So I have compiled just about, I think I have like 8 books here and 1 audio to get me through the day, and I want to see how many I can get through. I put up a poll on my Twitter, and a few people were kind enough to help me out. I was asking, should I read brand new stuff, or should I finish the things that I've already started, or should I do some of both? And I mean, I guess that was kind of a trick question because I'm only in the middle of like 2 books that I can finish, because 2 of them are read-alongs, and so I'm buddy reading, not read-alongs, buddy reading, so I can't like finish them all in one day. So I guess it was kind of a trick question, but whatever, I don't regret it. So the things that I'm planning to finish is, actually didn't grab this one, but I'm planning to finish The Disasters, which I started the other day, and I might even finish that one tonight because I'm really into that one right now. But then I am in the middle of The Launtress. That's my audiobook. That's the one that I probably won't finish because I'm buddy reading that with Murphy and I don't need to finish it. But if I need to run any errands, or I have a few projects around the house I want to get done, I'll be listening while I do that, just to give myself a break. Then I also want to finish City of Wind, which is the 4th book in the Steel and Fire. I'm so happy to be onto this one, and I really just want to plow through this. This shouldn't be hard at all because I don't have that much. Also on my TBR this month, I have Tone Deaf for Romanceopoly. This is a rockstar romance, so I want to plow through that. This one looks pretty easy as well. I'm kind of just going through these quick because I'll be like talking about these books throughout. I also, in case I want to, I have my 2 historical romances that I've been trying to get to these for a while, but I just haven't been inspired. But these, I can usually plow through one of these books in about 2.5, 3 hours. So these might be some good like filler reading if I want to, because Julia Quinn and Mary Below are my 2 favorite historical romance authors. So need to get to those. Then I just picked 4 off of one of my TBR shelves. I have 2, the bottom 2 shelves of this one behind me, and then like 3 shelves over there. I have a total of like 150 unread books at my house. It's awful. I'll just go through these pretty quick because this is the TBR at the beginning of the video, and I'm probably going to have a lot of footage, so I don't want this to end up being super long. So I want to try The Bear and the Nightingale. I've heard really great things. This is by Catherine Arden. This seems pretty short-ish, and I know that this is like a Russian fairy tale retelling, maybe, or about some like myths there. I don't know a ton about it, but I know everyone loves it. And the newest book just came out, The Witch of Winter, and so I finally want to start reading. This is book 1 in the Winter Night trilogy. Then I have An Unkindness of Magicians by Kat Howard. Been meaning to read this forever. It's one of Murphy's favorite books last year. This one also doesn't look super huge, and I know it's a standalone, so that could be nice. Then I have Beartown by Frederick Bachman. This is a book, I guess, about a town that they've had a rape happen, but it's by one of their hockey stars, so they don't really want to persecute him, I guess. And then this one is The Devil in the White City by Eric Larson. I know that this is like a fiction retelling of like, is it H.G. Holmes? Anyway, the like serial killer who's in New York during the World's Fair, and it's about what was happening there. So, woo! These are the books that are in my TBR for my readathon, and we'll see how I do. I mean, if this is a total fail, you wouldn't be seeing this video, so I'm hopeful. So, bye. Bye. Hey friends, good morning. It is 9:30 a.m. I was planning to get up earlier, but my friends came over and we played games until like midnight last night. And I let myself sleep in a little bit, but I'm up. I put a load of laundry in to go. I'm making a bagel and some coffee. And my first goal is to get The Disasters finished. I'm halfway done with it. I'm really enjoying it. It's at a good part of the story. And I feel like I can get through it in probably about an hour and a half. So that's going to be my first goal, is to finish this. And then I have everything stacked up over here. And I think I'll either do one of the romances or start with the Bear and the Nightingale. I think that's where I want to go. And then later today, I need to do some cleaning, and so I'll probably listen to Elantris while I do that. So that is what we're looking with to start the day off. Just wanted to update you at the beginning of the day. I bet I look like trash compared to my last clip because I was all fancied up from a day of work, and now I'm just like bunhead and blah. But, you know, it's a day off where I actually don't have to do anything. It's super gloomy out anyway, so I like don't feel bad. So I'm just going to start this. It worked out to be like a perfect day to do this readathon. So we'll just see how well I stick to it. So I'll check back in with you later. Bye. Checking in. It is about 12:30. I finished the Disasters, and I'm about 60 pages into the Bear and the Nightingale. Really interesting so far. Don't know where it's going to go, but I love Russian tales and stories that take place up there. One of the most confusing things is like their naming system for me. I'm just super American and it doesn't make sense to me, but I'm really liking it. Like, it's not enough to throw me out, and I think all the characters are really rich, like very quickly, and that makes me really happy because spoilers, the disasters was not very good. So I'm glad to switch to something a little more upbeat and a little more fun. So I'm going to take a lunch break and give myself a little bit of media time until about 1, and then I will dive back in. Yeah, I think that's what we're doing. It's going good. I, of course, you know, like look at my stack, and I think that I have like, you know, like 11 hours left to read stuff, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to get through anything, but I know I'll get through at least 2 more books just because of the size of the ones I picked. Like, I purposely picked ones that would be okay to get through. And I'll probably take a break around like 4 to like do the cleaning stuff I want and listen to Elantris, which I'm excited to because I love Elantris. It's so good. So yeah, that's what's going on. Hey guys, now it is 4 o'clock, and I just finished The Bear and the Nightingale, which was really good. I don't know what I feel about it yet. I'm vacillating between a 4.5 and a 5. I just need to think about it for a little bit, and then I'll put up like a final review for it. Oh, it was so good. I really want to dive into the next one, but I want to try to get, I want to try to stick to the books I picked for this TBR because they're all ones that I really want to read. But right now, I have a bunch of laundry to fold. And so I'm going to listen to Elantris while I get that done. And then I'm going to try to get through at least 1 more book tonight. So that'll have put me through like 3 books today, which that's pretty cool to read 3 books in 1 day, right? But anyway, sorry if this isn't the coolest like 24-hour readathon ever, but you know, at least I like changed clothes. Wasn't gonna put on makeup today because I'm not going anywhere, but it was also nice because again, I have nothing I have to get done, and these books are super good. So I think it'll be more fun in the wrap-up section because like each time I check in, I'm trying not to like gush about a particular book because I'm gonna like wrap up at the end. But that one was really fun. I'm sure those of you who've read it you know, and I can't wait to see what happens next. I loved Vasya, I think is how you say her name, or Vasilisa. I don't know. They're Russian. Most of the time I was just fumbling along trying to know the names, but it was super cool. So I'm gonna listen to some Elantris, and I'll check back in with you later. Ayo! So it is just a little after 6. I finished doing my chores. I listened to some Elantris, and now I'm reading Tone Deaf. Wow, Tone Deaf by Olivia Rivers. Wow, I was instantly enraptured by this book. I'm loving it. It's about this girl named Allie who's being abused by her father, and she's deaf. She's only been deaf for a few years, though. Before that, she was a musical piano prodigy. She was a piano prodigy, which is musical. Wow, can't talk. And her and her friend go to this rock concert, and she wins a free tour behind the scenes. And the lead singer of the band finds out she's deaf, and then he's really rude to her, and she doesn't know why. And you find out it's because one of his parents was deaf, and he just had some really bad experiences with that parent, and so he's inexplicably rude to her. And so then his manager makes him, reach out to her, ask for forgiveness, and he ends up noticing that she's being abused, and he decides he wants to help her. So that's kind of the setup for the story, and I'm loving it already. It's very interesting. I'm definitely going to finish this tonight. I didn't know if I would get through another book, but I'm definitely going to get through this one, so we'll see. I also just ordered some sushi, so that'll be here soon, and I'm going to keep plowing through. This day, I'm feeling good about it, so I'll check back in with you probably at the end of the night. Hey guys, it's the next morning. It's Sunday morning, and it is 10 a.m., so our 24 hours is at an end, and I'm also looking a little more presentable because it's right before church for me and Sunday morning. So I actually look semi put together, but whatever. So yeah, I thought I would wrap up everything. I'm actually really impressed with myself. I thought I was going to get way more distracted than I did. And so I'm just really happy. This was my first 24-hour readathon, and I really liked, so here's a couple of things I think were pretty successful for me before I get into the book. So number one, there was like nothing that I had canceled to do this. It just ended up being a day where I had nothing going on. And, normally I wouldn't have like filmed it as a 24-hour readathon, but because I had this as a goal, it really kept me reading. Because normally on a Saturday, I probably would read like one book. Like I would read a whole book, and that would feel really successful. It would round out my reading for the week, give me something else to put in a normal reading vlog, and it'd be great. And this time it was just really like, I don't need to be watching TV. I don't need to be getting distracted. I took social media breaks like after each book that I finished, or else, if I had to go to the bathroom or whatever. And it just made me feel really focused on reading. And also normally I would usually watch TV while I read a book. And so it would take like all day to read a book because you're distracted by other things as well. So anyway, some of the things I don't think anything wasn't successful. Oh, also I gave myself lots of book choices. And obviously I could have completely changed my mind and read anything. Like after I finished The Bear and The Nightingale, I like really wanted to read The Girl in the Tower, but I just wanted to let that novel breathe. And so I went back and picked another, pace change book. I had books from every genre in that TBR. And so it was easy to be like, okay, I've read an adult fantasy, I'm going to pick up something else. So that made it easier. But yeah, let's go over our wrap up here, because I basically read from 5 different books, finished 3, and I feel like that's really successful. So first off, I finished this book, and I don't remember totally what I've talked about in these clips because I was trash yesterday, as you know, whatever. So the first one I finished was this. I only gave this 3 stars. This is by M.K. England, The Disasters. I really had high hopes for this, and it started out really good, really diverse, really sexually diverse, really interesting characters. But for the things that were going on, like they all ended up being like perfect at what they needed to do. Hardly anything went wrong besides like the bare minimum of things to go wrong. this is possibly set up for a sequel. I don't know. But everything got resolved way too easily, in my opinion, for the things we were talking about. Like, they're talking about, like, planets being blown up because this is, like, a multi-thing. And, like, the whole thing is, like, the Academy never should have kicked them out. Well, it should have, because they all, like, failed at what they were trying to do. Like, they all failed. And so to say, like, they never should have got kicked out is like, yeah, you all sucked at what you were supposed to be there for. And then when it comes time to save the galaxy, they're good enough to do it. So I don't know. I just would have liked if there was other reasons why they got kicked out and then why they were perfect for what they were doing, you know? I don't know. It also gave me Illuminae vibes in the beginning, and then it quickly dissuaded me from that, so then I was kind of disappointed because I love Illuminae, but I don't know. So I think this is great if you're looking for a good diverse book, if you're looking for a great bisexual lead. It's a male, and he has a female and male, like, possibility in this book, and he does pick one at the end. And so that was kind of nice, except for he was thinking about those two people the entire time. With everything he was doing. He was thinking how cute the guy was, how he was smiling at him, how he was always worried about him, that he would be okay. And then he was always thinking about the girl, and he would brush up against her shoulder and be in love with her. And that is fine. Like, you know, I love romance. But the situation we're in and how small this book is, I don't have time for you to be gawking after not one, but two people. You know, it would have been different if it's like, oh yeah, I also love girls, or I also love boys, but I'm focused on, I don't know. There was just too much like romance things or like lusty things going on for the situation we were in. So that's why it's like hard for me, because I'm so happy to see this diversity in this book, and it was a fun read, but it was just weighed down by, what's the right thing to say? It was like they were kind of like shoving it in my face constantly, like, oh, he's flirting with a boy. No, he's flirting with a girl. See, he liked both. And it was just like constantly reminding me, and I'm like, I'm not going to forget that he likes boys and girls. I get it. Can we get back to the story? So, sorry I'm being a little dramatic, but I just thought it was such a cool setup, and then they punched me in the face with it. And like there's this one misunderstanding that's happening between Nax is the main character, and a family member of his, and I immediately knew what the resolution would be. Like, as soon as he explained the situation, I was like, oh, well, it's this. And like Nax refused to see it, and it was really frustrating. So it made him unsympathetic to me, because he was basically a whiny bitch. Excuse me for that. So anyway, I have feelings about this, and I don't know what my situation, what I'll feel later about it, but I know for sure it's a 3-star for me. I just don't know if it will devolve later, but I don't think my thoughts will get better. Okay, next I read The Bear and the Nightingale, and this story was so great. I am amazed that in 312 pages, the amount of things Catherine Arden was able to put in it. There's some great quotes in here that I'm going to add to my best quotes of the year. I just love it so much. And this book is so hard to explain. Man. Because it's like, I want to give you some better tidbits, because the things I'd heard about it, like, didn't explain it to me. So on the back of the cover, one of the things that it says is that, like, a new stepmother comes into Vasa's life, and then she kind of ruins everyone's vibe. And the thing is like, that does happen, but it negates the fact that, like, Vasya's stepmother, Anna, she is mentally ill and needs help. And like, one of the reasons she's so, like, pardon me, crazy is because, like, she needs help. And so later on it devolves, and like there becomes some parental abuse. Like, there's a trigger for some abuse in here. And like, I just felt bad for Anna, because Vasya is so strong. Like, when Anna is like hammering away at her, not literally, like, I'm not saying that kind of abuse, like, there's abuse, but it's more like verbal and some physical. But Vasya is just like, whatever, you're not going to affect me. But it affects Anna, and it's just really hard, because she gets married off to this man, Vasya's father, with 4 children, and she's like 16 years old, and she just wants to join a convent and become a nun, and her father is the prince of Moscow, and he makes her. He can't have a daughter who's in a convent, and it's just, she would have been so happy to just go pray to God and like be alone. And so I don't know. I'm doing a poor job of explaining this. I ended up giving this 5 stars. I think it's probably more of a 4.75 for just a few things that are really minor. It was very confusing because there's like parts of Russian in it, and then like they have all these different titles for people, and like that's not the author's. I bet the author was doing things as authentically as possible. Just for me reading it, it was very confusing, and so it took me a while, but I loved it. It was so good. So I gave this 5 stars. Oh, also, it hits one of my favorite tropes. It has an animal companion. Vasya, she learns to speak with horses, and she ends up with a horse companion at the end. And y'all know that is one of my favorite writing tropes. Not even a trope, because I feel like it doesn't happen enough to be a trope, but it's one of my favorite things in books when people have animal companions. So we'll maybe do a full review for this. I don't know, because I have so many things to say, and I just can't, I still can't process it yet. All right. Then after that, I went for a light read, which was kind of light, but still pretty serious, because we were also dealing with parental abuse, and that was Tone Deaf by Olivia Rivers. And I read this one. This one, literally, I ordered some food. I ordered some Chinese, and I literally was almost done with the book by the time I got here. Like, this one only took me like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. So this is about a girl named Allie Collins. She's deaf. She used to be a musical prodigy as a child, and then she got a brain tumor, and now she's deaf. And her mother died around the same time that she went deaf, and so she had to move in with her father, who is an ex-police chief at the time of the book. And he is physically abusing her whenever she messes up. He will punch her and hit her and say mean things to her. Her and her best friend go to a rock concert for Tone Deaf because her friend said you can still feel the music, and Allie is like, yes, that's fine, I'll go with you. And there's a chance to win a behind the scenes tour with the lead singer, Jace, and she wins. Allie wins, and when she gets back there, he finds out she's deaf, and he flips her off, and you're like, wow, what a jerk. And you find out that Jace has a deaf father who abused him. And it happens to be the anniversary of his mother's death, like the day that he meets her. So he is a total asshole, and flips her off, but he's having a lot of feelings of anger and stuff still built up. So anyway, but they think they'll never see each other again. Well, his manager says, you need to apologize to this girl so she doesn't go to social media and tell everyone that you are a jerk. And so Jace lures her back with the promise of $8,000 if she will come back. And Allie wants that money so she can escape her father as soon as she turns 18 and be able to move away from him, because he's kept her really isolated. And he also doesn't want to let her go to Gallaudet University, which is like the main deaf university in the United States. And I know a little bit about that because I took 2 years of sign language in college, which is also why this book was interesting to me, because they use a lot of ASL in here. It is shown in italics. And so Allie promises to come back, and she's just like, I'm just here for my money. And so they take some promo photos, and then she's going to leave, and Jace notices the bruises on her, and he knows the way she's acting, and he recognizes it because he lived it, and he decides he wants to help her. And it's good. Like, this is such a cheesy, but yet not, because it's like, it's cheesy because everything works out, but it's just so good. So that's the setup, is like Jace decides to help her, and she's 4 months and 8 days away from turning 18. And Jace is like, well, what if you don't make it to 18? Like, what if he hurts you too bad? Because Jace got severely injured by his father before he went to jail. He has a huge scar on him from where his dad like threw something at him and it almost killed him. And so his dad went to prison. But he's like, what if you can't make it to 18? And so he offers her to come on tour with them and keep her safe until she turns 18. But it's also a super cute romance at the same time. Like, I don't know what to say, guys. This I gave this 4 stars. It has a lot of problems, but it also does like deal with the trauma and the PTSD from it. And these 2 people are trying to help each other who are in similar situations. And I really liked it. And then at the end of the night, I started Beartown. I only got 86 pages into it. Secret, I don't know if I'm going to finish it because it's just, his writing is so good. Like, it's great. This is about this town called Beartown, and they have had a rape happen, and the main goal maker on the Beartown hockey team, where hockey is everything, he's the one who raped this girl. And it's about how the town reacts and how they try to protect people, and it's not the victim. And I just don't think that I can handle this because I'm only 86 pages in, and it's already, I mean, the writing, this is such a good book. This is just, I don't like hard-hitting contemporaries. I'm so lame. I'm sorry. This is one of Murphy's favorite books, and I can see how powerful it is. It's just not what I like want to read. So it feels so painful to read like every page of it. And I'm just not in the place where I like want that, right? I'm sorry, I sound like a whiner, but I'm just telling the truth. So that is everything that I got through. Oh, as well as Elantris. I listened to 2 hours of Elantris while I was cleaning my room yesterday. But this is everything I read during my 24-hour readathon. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you'd like to see more of these. I definitely want to try to do it again when I have more time again. So thanks so much for watching. And remember, I put up new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I'll see you next time. Bye.